Welcome to this explainer. Okay, you know that feeling when you're just sitting there, staring at a screen, watching that loading icon spin endlessly? Yeah, it's the absolute worst. So today, we are walking through the ultimate Wi-Fi speed checklist. Our goal here is super straightforward. We're going to help you diagnose and fix your slow internet, and we're going to do it without any of that intimidating tech support jargon. We're talking practical, everyday steps you can take right now to supercharge your connection.
Okay, let's dive into this tech triage roadmap we've put together for today. We'll be covering 1. The 3 easiest steps. 2. Clearing your invisible airwaves. 3. Tidying up your software. And 4. Hardwiring and hardware upgrades.
Starting us right off, Section 1, the 3 easiest steps.
We're starting with the absolute lowest hanging fruit here, so you can score some immediate quick wins for your internet speed right out of the gate. Step 1. Restart your router. You'll hear tech folks call this power cycling. Just unplug it for a few minutes. It sounds too easy, right? But doing this clears out its internal cache and actually prompts the router to reselect the least busy Wi-Fi channel when it reboots. Step 2, make sure you've set a strong, complex WPA2 password. If your network is just sitting wide open, you probably have neighborhood bandwidth leeches dragging your speed down. A strong password instantly kicks them to the curb. And step 3, simply shorten the physical space between your computer and the router. Distance is literally the biggest enemy of Wi-Fi.
Let's move to Section 2 and see how this builds. Section 2, clearing your invisible airwaves.
To clear your path, we really need to look at how the physical layout of your home impacts that invisible Wi-Fi freeway you rely on every single day. And honestly, this might be a bit of a frustrating revelation for some of you. The ultimate bandwidth thieves might actually be sitting right inside your kitchen or your nursery. Devices like baby monitors, microwaves, and refrigerators are what we call dampening appliances. Because of their electrical interference and dense materials, they can severely block your Wi-Fi signal. So make absolutely sure your router is placed as far away from these everyday items as possible.
And this brilliantly illustrates why you absolutely need to rescue your router from the floor. Seriously, pick it up. You want to place it high up, ideally right in the center of your home, and give it a clear line of sight to your devices. If your router's signal has to fight its way through multiple walls or those dampening appliances we just talked about, well, the signal is going to weaken dramatically before it ever reaches your laptop.
Think of your Wi-Fi network like a massive freeway. Most modern routers broadcast on 2 distinct frequency bands, the 2.4 GHz band and the 5 GHz band. Now, the 2.4 GHz band gives you a much longer range, but because almost everything uses it, it is incredibly crowded. On the flip side, the 5 GHz band provides significantly faster speeds, though the trade-off is a slightly shorter range. By logging into your router and changing your frequency to that 5 GHz band, it's exactly like changing lanes to bypass a massive traffic jam. You just cruise right by.
All right, moving on to the third stage of our triage. Section 3, tidying up your software.
So, stepping away from the physical router for a second, we have to look directly at the software running on your actual devices. Because here's the thing, even with a totally perfect router setup, your software can severely hold you back. You can actually use built-in tools like Task Manager if you're on a PC or Activity Monitor if you're on a Mac to find and close unnecessary background apps that are secretly hogging all your bandwidth. Oh, and make sure to update your internet browser. An outdated browser is always going to feel choppy and slow, literally regardless of how fast your actual internet connection is.
Next up on the software side, let's talk about cached files. Now, caching generally is a good thing. It allows you to browse faster because your computer remembers website data. But over time, these files can become corrupted and cause massive, totally unexpected slowdowns. Clearing your browser's cache periodically removes that old corrupted data. Think of it exactly like changing the oil in your car. It's just necessary, routine maintenance for smoother, faster, long-term performance.
Now, what's really interesting about this next concept, a virtual private network, or VPN, is how it handles outside interference. Because sometimes the bottleneck isn't inside your house at all. Sometimes it's your internet service provider intentionally throttling your network. A VPN uses external servers to route your data, which hides your activity. And doing that can actually prevent your ISP from artificially capping your speeds. It's a real game changer if you're dealing with provider throttling.
Which brings us to the final section of our checklist. Section 4, hardwiring and hardware upgrades. As we focus on physical cables and hardware, let's really contrast a wireless setup against a wired connection. Look, Wi-Fi is incredibly convenient, we all know that. But because it relies on the open airwaves, it is always going to be susceptible to lag, distance drops, and weird interference.
If you want absolute, rock-solid stability, you need to plug your computer directly into the back of your router with an Ethernet cable. This direct, physical connection gives you zero lag time between the router and your computer. It is practically unmatched for stability.
But if you absolutely must stick to wireless, you really have to maintain your hardware. First things first, visit your router's admin settings and update its firmware. This is absolutely crucial for maintaining a consistent connection and for patching any security flaws. Second, if you have those stubborn, annoying dead zones in your house where the Wi-Fi just drops, consider adding a wired internet extender or upgrading to a mesh Wi-Fi system. That's going to push that strong signal into literally every corner of your home.
So the crucial point we inevitably arrive at is it simply time for a brand new router? Take a really good look at your equipment. If your router or your modem is more than a few years old, there's really only so much tweaking you can do. No matter amount of software updates or antenna adjusting can fix fundamentally outdated technology. Throwing in the towel and just upgrading to new hardware will almost certainly jumpstart your speed and reception.
But what if you've done it all? You've gone through every single step on this triage checklist. You've moved the router, you've cleared the cache, you've hardwired your devices, updated the firmware, and you are still consistently getting slow speeds. Well, at this point, the only way forward might simply be purchasing an internet plan with a faster advertised speed tier from your provider. Sometimes you just need a bigger pipe. Which leaves us with this final really provocative question. Are you paying for lightning speed but driving on a jammed Wi-Fi freeway? Please, don't let bad router placement or software hogs steal the bandwidth you're paying for. I highly encourage you to run through this simple checklist today. Clear your airwaves, tidy up your software, and optimize your hardware so you finally get the internet speed you actually deserve. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and hey, happy browsing!